Hi, friends. It's summer and all, and I know that I've been missing in action for a little while. But all is well. I'm enjoying the summer and I'm back. All right. So, once again, welcome to Etienne's Place. We have not spoken, so to speak, in quite a while. So, today we're back on board. Now, today I want to look at the topic of social security benefits. There are a couple of things that are very important that we ought to be aware of, especially those of us who are approaching the retirement years. And so it's best to be aware of these things so that you can make the right decisions. And of course, you don't want to wait until it is the year of retirement or the last year of, of being on the job before you start to investigate and find what are your options and what's the best way to go. So today we'll look at some of the key things that key considerations when it comes to social security benefits. When do you qualify? When is it advisable to start taking your distributions? What are the benefits of delaying taking the distributions? What's the implication, tax implication of getting your social security benefits and at the same time having other income? Because quite often you may retire or yes, retire from your main job because you've reached that age, but then you're still strong, healthy, sharp upstairs, and therefore, yes, you're not going to go home to sit and just waste away before the television. So you'll find other employment. And so we want to know what's the tax implication of receiving social security benefits at the same time earning other income. Good. Let's begin. So now you have worked. The years have rolled by, and so you are now, let's say, at your 60th birthday, and you're thinking, wow, in 2 years, I'll qualify to apply for my social security benefits. Now, pay special attention to those dates, well, those ages that I mentioned, because they are basically like, benchmarks. So the first one I mentioned was 62. So at 62, you qualify for Social Security at age 62. You can apply to receive your Social Security, to begin getting your Social Security benefits at age 62. Now, circumstances may dictate that you would go ahead and do that. Maybe, ill health, um, financial reasons, you decide, you really need to go and apply and start getting your distributions as of age 62. However, the full retirement age is really 66 or 67, 66, 67, depending on the year of birth. A little technicality, but let's not get into that. But basically, your full retirement is really at 66, 67. So assuming that there are no pressing reasons for you to take your Social Security at 62, it is advisable that you delay it until that 66, 67 years old when you're fully, so to speak, entitled for that payout. Now, it is interesting to note that if you delay, very important, if you delay receiving your Social Security benefits to 66, 67, although you could have, start pulling it at 62, then you'd be surprised to know that had you started taking Social Security at 62, you would have received approximately 25 to 30% less distribution than if you decide to take it at the full retirement age of 66 or 67. Yes, critical to know that. If you opt to take your Social Security benefits at age 62 because you're qualified, then you would end up receiving approximately 25 to 30% less payout compared to you holding off and saying, I'll start taking my distributions at age 66 or 67. Fine. But it gets even better than that. If you're able to hold off taking that distribution until you actually get to age 70, then that is where you have the best of all worlds as far as Social Security is concerned. Because at age 70, what you find is that your monthly payout, your monthly receipt of Social Security benefits at 70 will actually be 8% more monthly, approximately 8% more at age 70 than what would have been had you gone for it at age 66 or 67. Not to mention the 62. So it means therefore the number of years that you delay taking your Social Security benefits up to that age 70 will be to your betterment, your advantage, because it is saying that you will end up actually getting 8% more distribution year by year by year. So you can imagine if you're talking about the option of taking it at 62 or 70, you're talking about 8 years run, 8 years. So we have 8 12-month period. That's quite a bit of money to consider. All right. So very important to note, you qualify at 62 to apply to receive. However, your full retirement age is between 66 67. If you can delay that until you're 70, then your payout will be much more attractive. I said before, circumstance will cause some people to say, okay, I need to get it. But if you can delay, then by all means delay. Now, another thing or another reason for delaying your Social Security, and this is really the heart of today's discussion, is that you reach retirement age. So you leave the job at 65, whatever. But then you have other sources of income. No, this other source of income could be another little job. It could be dividends, interest. It could be distribution from pension plan. It could be capital gains. All these put together represent taxable income. And so, again, if you're having other sources of income from which you can live, you pay your bills, etc., then it means that you may be able to delay Social Security distributions, and so you will benefit from that added distribution over time, as I explained earlier on. Good. Now, let us say that you're able to take advantage of all of this. So you hold off, you wait, you delay, and so you're now at 70 and you start to get your full sum Social Security distribution. But then at 70, you're healthy, you're alert, you're industrious, and so you're working or you're earning. You have some investment income, as I said before, interest, dividend, capital gains, all these things. Now, let's roll back a bit before I go down that path. By law, Social Security benefits are non-taxable. That's a general principle. Social Security benefits are non-taxable. However, Social Security benefits are non-taxable to the extent that you do not have other income. Other income, which, when added to half of the Social Security distributions that you receive, right? When those other income plus half of the Social Security added together do not exceed a certain threshold, then it continues to be non-taxable. But once the other income plus half of the Social Security distribution together equals or exceed that threshold, then you will start to have Social Security benefits being taxable. Let us look at some of these numbers. Very basic, very simple. If you have other income for the year, and you take this income or these other incomes, and you add to that half of your Social Security benefits, then you'll establish what is your total income, so to speak. Now, that figure will be compared to what is referred to as a base level. And here's how it works. If you're single, or if you file as single or as head of household, then those other income plus that half of your Social Security benefits, when added together, if it is equal to or greater than, follow me now, $25,000, then you are moving in the realm of taxes on Social Security. So the threshold for a person who files single or head of household, the threshold is $25,000, meaning if you are $25,000 or greater, then you will find that your Social Security benefits will some of it will be taxed. The further up you are above that threshold is the more it will be taxed, and it can be taxed up to 50% of that Social Security can become taxable. Now, if it continues, then it says that, all right, if you exceed a $34,000 threshold, then up to 85% of that Social Security benefit becomes taxable. So you'll notice that up to that 25,000, if you file as single or head of household, okay, once you pass that threshold, then up that 25,000, greater than 25,000, can start having your Social Security tax. And this tax can go up as you exceed the threshold, up to a total 50% of your Social Security being taxable. The same filing single, head of household, if you exceed that 34,000, then up to 85% of your Social Security can become taxable. And remember now, we compare total income with this threshold. And how do we come up with that total income? By taking all your other sources of income and adding it to half of your Social Security benefits, then whatever that figure is, that is what we compare to the threshold. Now, if you're married filing joint, the principle applies just the same. It's just that the threshold figures are a little different. So with a person who files married filing joint, then you have 32,000 and above, you're touching your Social Security being taxed up to 50%. If you talk about 44,000 and above, then you're now touching the possible 85% of your Social Security benefits being taxable. So you will notice, therefore, that depending on where you are compared to the threshold, you could fall just about anywhere. However, very important to note that the maximum Social Security benefits that can be taxed is 85%. So simply put, if you're getting $1,000 each month and you have other income and then you exceed those thresholds, then the most that can happen is that at maximum 85% of your $1,000 Social Security, which would be $850, would be the maximum of your Social Security that can be taxed. You're not taxed at 85% or 50%. No, careful. You're not taxed at 85% of your Social Security. We're saying up to 85% of your Social Security can become taxable income. As to what is a tax rate that will be applied to that 85% of Social Security, of course, will be a function or will be subjected to your overall effective tax rate, right? Meaning where your other income plus the half of the Social Security benefits puts you in terms of your overall tax calculation. That would be the effective rate that will be applicable to all income. But up to 85% of the Social Security distribution can become taxable. Good. So for a quick recap, by age 62, you qualify to apply for your Social Security benefits. Best if you can delay until your full retirement age of either 66 or 67, where you're in a position to get even better distributions. If, however, you delay taking your Social Security benefits or until you are 70, then even greater stuff for you, because right now you're talking about getting like 8% more distribution each of those years between when you could have taken it and the 70, mean between the retirement age of 66, 67, whatever, and the 70. So once you can delay taking your Social Security distribution until that 70, then you're in a position to get, money, much more money than at 66, 67. Now, if you're able to do this, then hip hip hooray. But that there comes a time when, yes, you now have to take your Social Security distribution. So you're at 70, you're having your Social Security distributions, but you're fortunate enough to have other sources of income, whether it be earned income by having a little job here or there, or it's really what we call passive income, like interest, dividend, you're getting some distributions from your pension fund, then it means therefore that you would now have other income. With well, before I say that, Social Security as a rule is non-taxable. However, it is non-taxable assuming that that is the income, that's the money you're depending on to live, and you have no other income. Once you have other income, then there's a possibility that some of that Social Security benefit will become taxable. And how we determine that is by looking at that simple formula. Mark you, the actual calculation can be a little more complex, but just for our purpose. Take the total of those other incomes, whether it be earned income or passive income, add that figure to half of your Social Security benefits, and then you determine the figure and you compare that figure to certain thresholds. And we mentioned the threshold where once you exceed a certain threshold, then you're likely to have up to 50% of your Social Security benefits being taxed. And if you even go further than that, then you could have up to a maximum of 85%. Now, it's a maximum of 85% because even if you earn $1 million you know, income, once you have reached that 85% of Social Security being taxed, then you will not find that 90% and 95% is taxed. No, that's a maximum of the Social Security benefits that will be taxed. I said before, the 85% or the 50% is not the tax rate, it is the portion of the Social Security benefits that will be taxed. Uh, the rate at which it will be taxed will be based on your effective tax rates, based on your overall tax picture. Okay, that is it. The other thing I just quickly mention is that one of the benefits too of delaying taking your Social Security benefits is where, let us say that if you took it in the early years of 64, 65, 63, then because you're earning other income, then you're likely to end up having some of that Social Security being taxed. Later on in life, when you have stopped working that job that give you that salary, and to the extent that you're only depending on passive income, meaning there's an interest here, there's a dividend here, there's a distribution from your pension fund here, there, then the total other income represented by those things, in the absence of earned income, because you're no longer working, is likely to be such that even when you add that figure to half of the Social Security benefits, it may still have you under the threshold. Or even if you are a little bit above it, it may just be a couple of dollars. And so you find that the portion, the percentage of that Social Security that becomes taxable is quite minimal. So remember now that 50% is up to that 50% if you exceed that 34, whatever, and that 85% if you exceed the other threshold, right? But it means that you can just have, varying amounts or varying percentages being taxed based on where your number falls in relation to the established threshold. Good. So that's about it for Social Security benefits. Um, and its implications, tax implications when you have other income, also the benefit of delaying, rushing to grab your Social Security benefits, although you're qualified to do so at age 62. Okay. All right. So I hope that tidbit will give you something to ponder and to strategize and plan as you get nearer and nearer to that time. Thank you once again for joining me, David Etienne. Yes, I'm enjoying this summer. Pretty warm at times, but pleasant outside, very bright sunshine. And so I encourage you to enjoy, get some outdoors, get some sunshine, vitamin D, not too much. Nobody wants sunburn. And if you can find yourself at the beach, man, go for it. All right. So thank you again. Join us at Etienne's Place as we continue to share with you the tidbits, the gems to help you to make better financial decisions. So, bye, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the coming